Okay, everybody, what is going on? Good afternoon. Hope you guys are still doing well. Was a pretty big day over at the VMAC. Like I said earlier, first day in pads. First time the team has been in full pads since the Super Bowl, so pretty important day. Definitely wanted to get a feel for how things went. And we've now heard some things. We've now had a variety of pieces of information passed along to us. And I'm going to go ahead and go over the things that we've heard. Although I will say this, a lot of what we've got as of right now are comments from Mike McDonald that are, I would assume, purposefully kind of vague and are more just like general platitudes rather than anything super insightful. So I do wonder if as the day goes on, we end up getting more and more information trickling out. And maybe even later today, I'll do a second video talking about the practice today because we end up getting a lot more info. But to talk about what we have, talk about the things that we did learn. Let's go ahead and go through. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks. So for starters, let's go with injury stuff here. So the players that did not practice today included Julian Neal, Brandon Peely, Jared Ivey, Jake Bobo, and Irv Charles. So Neal was a couple days ago. He got hurt. We knew about that. Bobo, same. And Irv Charles has been hurt for a few days now, so that's an ongoing situation. Peely and Ivy, I believe, is new. I hadn't heard about anything with them, so that's a new one. Like I said earlier, Devin Eastern practice, so that was cool. Eamon Wari was in attendance on the sideline, still not off the PUP, but the fact that he's in attendance is, I suppose, a good sign. At the very least, better than him not being there. Now, as for the details on some of these injuries, updates. We did get a little bit, not a lot, if I'm being perfectly honest. McDonald talked about Eamon Wari. He's in an adverse situation and he's attacking it, and that's all you can ask him to do. He's made a lot of progress, which is exciting. Returns so far, he's done a great job. It's not going to be easy, but he's just the man for the job. So no timeline, no details, no indication of when they think he'll be back. So a wide range of possibilities remains on the table. He could be back next week. He could be back next month. He could be back in a couple of months. We really don't know. We don't really know much of anything other than they've said that it's not a season ender. So hopefully that holds, because as long as it's not a season ender, it's not that bad. But it does seem like the door is being left open for this to linger on a little bit longer than we may have thought. So that's the big one right now, obviously, and it's a little vague. Going beyond that, though, Bobo and Neal, McDonald commented on the injuries to Bobo and Neal. We'll get them back soon, just camp stuff. So that sounds pretty minor. Doesn't sound like anything he's worried about. Again, the issue with Neal is that he's new, he's young, he's inexperienced. These reps matter. A guy like Bobo doesn't really need these reps. He's been in the league long enough. He was in this offense last year. So that's different. But Neal definitely needs this time. So hopefully sooner rather than later. There was also a question about why Peely and Ivy were out, and McDonald sounded equivalently unconcerned. So seems like we're fine there. And I know that Peely and Ivy are not big time pieces of this team, but you still want to have them around, especially right now. This is their best opportunity to leave an impression. So definitely going to keep an eye on that. But for the moment, those guys are injured. Doesn't seem like anything super serious, though, so definitely breathe a sigh of relief. All right, guys, let's take a quick break here to talk a little bit about Prize Picks, currently the #1 sports pick app in America. The app is very easy to use. Check it out to my left here. You can do player picks, where you just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. Or you can pick teams, where you pick winners, spread, or total on any game or fight. The app is available in most states, including California, Texas, and Florida. Right now, they have a great offer. You can play your first $5 lineup and get $150 in lineups if you win. All you have to do is use code HMA when you sign up. It's a brand new offer, best time possible to get on the app. So get on over there and get to winning that first lineup. So remember, Prize Picks, code HMA. Download the app today, and remember to always gamble responsibly. Okay, so moving beyond the injury stuff, one of the most exciting things that happened today sounded like the one-on-one pass rush drills in full pads. So I know that there were some one-on-one drills earlier in camp, but this is the first time you've seen it approaching what it'll look like in an actual game. And a couple of the things that got brought to attention were Byron Murphy looks amazing. Greg Bell calls out this one play here where he bull rushes into Haynes's chest, blows him into the backfield. Curtis Allen had this quote from Mike McDonald: expect a spike in productivity rushing the passer from Byron Murphy because he's earned it. And Corbin called him possibly unblockable. So that's a lot of rave reviews of Byron Murphy's pass rush ability. Sure does seem like this is going to be the year he becomes maybe even more than what we're thinking right now. Maybe he can become a Warren Sapp. Maybe he can ascend to the true elite of the elite. So very exciting there. Because if Byron Murphy can become that level of player, like beyond even a Geno Atkins type, which previously I would have thought was about the ceiling for a guy like Byron Murphy, the sky's the limit. Because think about how good we were last year with Byron Murphy at the level that he was at. So there's that. There was also some attention brought to a sequence where Anthony Bradford was going up against Riley Mills. Riley Mills beats him with an inside rip move. Bradford came back and stopped Mills's spin move. Corbin talked about it as well, so it was definitely something that drew attention from multiple people. Bradford and Mills split the first two reps in a tightly contested contest. It was a best of three battle. So the last one, winner takes all. Mills appeared to get the upper hand in last one. So that's the kind of back and forth you like to hear about in the training camp for sure, especially from two guys like this that could go one way or the other, right? Riley Mills hasn't really done anything yet except for a big play in the Super Bowl, and Bradford is somebody who can go one way or the other pretty violently. But one thing that did happen today was that Mike McDonald took time in his press conference to talk about Bradford. Like all of our players, there are things we want to take to the next level. His attitude is great. Continuity on the offensive line helps our whole unit. Now, I know this team likes Bradford more than we do. I know it's been indicated before that they think he's a good player, that they think that he's doing a good job. There were multiple times last year where they singled him out specifically as, in their mind, our best offensive lineman. Not in every game or anything like that, but in some games. But I can't help but look at this comment and kind of feel like it's a little bit backhanded. Like his attitude is great. Continuity on the offensive line. It almost feels like he can't say that he looks good. So he's trying to find nice things to say about him that aren't just making things up. I don't know. It's the first time I've ever felt like there might have been a little something going on there. I don't want to read too much into it, though, because honestly, my impressions of Bradford so far have been positive in camp. There have been a couple pictures of him that have made the rounds where he looks in shape in a way that we haven't really seen before. He looks different. I think it was Curtis Allen posted a picture the other day. Doesn't look like the Anthony Bradford we've come to know. So overall, I do think that he's going to have his best season and will probably earn a noticeable contract somewhere next year. But it did kind of catch my attention here that this doesn't sound like the most effusive praise. I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining things. Maybe I'm making things up. We also got some positive comments from a few people on Andre Fuller and Michael Dansby, two rookie corners. Two guys really fighting for a roster spot. So good word here. Rookies are swimming a bit, learning scheme, which indicates that McDonald is acknowledging that they are drinking from the fire hose a little bit. The Seahawks are quite encouraged that they're making plays in a padded environment. And Mike McDonald also had this to say about those two guys: indication of the work they've put in. They both had good days today, according to him. They're rookies, so they're swimming a bit, like Corbin quoted. Just got to work through the fog until days like today. So sounds like those two guys really making a push. Guys like Nehemiah Pritchett and Noah Igbenogany, be careful. Be careful. These guys could push you right off. Because I don't know if you can count on getting these guys to the practice squad. Maybe Dansby, but Fuller might be a tough one. So, cool stuff there. Also got a, oh, sorry, my bad. Excuse me. Robbie Oots, apparently getting some reps playing tight end in practice today, according to Greg Bell, which is interesting because remember, he was mostly a tight end at Alabama. He moved to fullback last year. Obviously, he's still going to be a fullback here, but what this tells you is they're trying to make him flexible, make sure that he can do all kinds of stuff. When Robbie Oots gets on the field, you don't know. Is he going to be the tight end? Is he going to be the H-back? Is he going to be the fullback? Where is he going to line up? They want to have that flexibility to put Robbie Oots on the field and not have it be a tell of what kind of a play they're going to run. They want to be able to put him in various spots and have him get the job done. It goes back to that thing that we were talking about the other day. This team doesn't like to pigeonhole a player into one position. They like to let their players work with position coaches of positions that they typically don't really play because they can build good skills that can help them do what they do, even if they don't play that position. So, granted, we got a lot of tight ends on this team right now. I don't know if this means we're going to be trying some 5 tight end offense. I don't know what kind of crazy stuff we're going to be busting out formation-wise this year, but seems like there's going to be a lot of creativity here. And that's something that can only happen if the team is comfortable with the system they have in place. So, keeping the offense from last year seems like it's paying off, but we'll see how the play calling goes when the season gets here. We also got a comment from McDonald about Nick Vannett. Nick can do all the things at tight end, and that's what we're looking for our guys. Had a great workout, been tracking for a while. So basically just looking for a versatile tight end who can play blocking roles and receiving roles. Not a dig at Elijah Arroyo per Curtis Allen, but it should be noted that while A.J. Barner was slowly making his way back from injury in camp, the tight end that they always bring in with the ones is Saubert, pretty much always. So that highlights something. Arroyo is someone who is not, it seems like he's not coming along as a blocker. They're looking at him as a receiving mismatch, and that's fine, but it does seem like they've acknowledged that if they want to have a truly deep offense, if they want to have an offense that is as versatile and multifaceted as they want it to be, Arroyo can't be a huge part of that because he's one-dimensional. And Saubert, as much as he is limited as a receiver, he's not one-dimensional. So this is going to be an interesting kind of a car crash here of tight ends. You've got a lot of guys, and I don't think Vannett will be on the team when the year starts, but if you start throwing Robbie Oots on the fire, things get kind of interesting. Let's see here. What else? Oh, man, I'm sick of these autoplay videos. But anyway, George Halani, they were talking a little bit today. We had this video clip, which I'm not going to play on the video, but Halani picking up a blitz in a blitz pickup drill, and John Schneider talking about how good Halani's pass protection was during the postseason. This is why Halani might end up occupying a bigger role than we think, because I don't see him getting the ball a ton this year, but I do wonder. Last year, for whatever reason, Zach Charbonnet, his pass pro took a big step back in my mind. And Halani, if this team views him as their best option in pass pro, there really isn't that much else you can feel great about. Like, Jadarian Price is a rookie. Even if he's good at it eventually, he probably won't be good at it now. I don't really think that's Emmanuel Wilson's game. And if Charbonnet takes a step back, Halani's the guy you need out there for those reps. So this is how Halani can earn a pretty big role in this offense, even if it doesn't mean touches. But it does seem like this is where we're building towards. Halani's going to have a bigger role than we thought. McDonald also talked about how Witherspoon is not allowing the contract drama to interfere with his level of effort and his energy. It's one of those things where you're not used to dealing with it as a player. Take that and compartmentalize. That shows you his maturity and commitment to the team. So still no issue here. I will probably make another video later today talking about the Witherspoon and now actually Big Cat contract stuff, because that is continuing to be the most interesting subplot with this team that is not on a football field. So regardless, doesn't seem like he's unhappy. We also had some comments about Sam Darnold. He's in command. He treats every rep the same, whether it's in the film room or on the field. And Darnold also had an interview after the practice today. Talked about a variety of things. Talked about how things are different this year. Talked about Madden, I guess. Our defense did not come out looking so good in the new Madden. Talked about just his preparation for this upcoming season. A lot of good stuff there. Definitely go check out that interview if you haven't seen it yet. But Darnold, I made a video earlier today talking about how he's fighting for that next extension, and you know, if he plays well this year, I imagine he's going to be able to get every dollar he could possibly want. Maybe not here, but somewhere. Somebody will give that to him. We've learned this. Tyrese Knight also singled out as somebody who's having a great camp. There's ways to get him out there. You don't need to be counting who is in front of you on the depth chart. Put that pressure on the coaching staff. He is doing that. So, again, creativity, finding ways to get good players out on the football field, even if it means them not necessarily playing their natural position, even if it means moving things around or finding just this unconventional way to deploy your best players. It can be a benefit. There have been times, especially during the Carroll era near the end, where it felt like we were playing players out of position and it was hurting us. But McDonald's really trying to find a way here to turn it into a positive. And if he can, then a guy like Tyrese Knight, he may be a backup on paper, but that doesn't mean he can't be an impactful player. Also, Bud Clark apparently had a really good day today. Best practice was his last practice per McDonald. Looking forward to seeing the tape today. So he is coming along fast. I still don't think he'll be the week 1 starter, but he could be the starter by like late October, early November. Would not shock me. So that's also encouraging. And as of me recording this video, that's about all we've heard. We'll probably get a little bit more later. If we get a lot later, I'll probably make another video just to round up whatever else we hear. But that was the rundown from camp today. I know a lot of it was kind of platitudes. A lot of it was kind of McDonald speaking positively about almost everything and being also somewhat vague, not giving anything away that he doesn't have to. But overall, you got to be happy with the way things are looking right now. So that was today's training camp. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks. Day 5 in the books. And more stuff coming soon.